obviously this is a really difficult time for so many people. I mean, I think everyone in their own way is facing challenges, fear and grief and trauma. Obviously, the degree depends hugely, but we have friends who've we have people in the congregation who've died or been on ventilators or whatever. And I think everybody knows someone or has grandparents they're worried about. I think for us, Pip had lung cancer in November. She had a little bit of lung cancer removed, 20% of her lung removed, and therefore she's in the vulnerable category. And inevitably that puts you in that sort of sense of apprehension and anxiety. So there's all that going on. But at the same time, there is a huge amount of opportunity. And of course, we don't believe that God sent this virus, but God can use it. And so we've said to the church right from the start, this is not a moment to retreat. This is a moment to see the kingdom of God advance. And at the staff meeting last week, I hate alliterations, particularly ones that begin with P, but I came up with 4 Ps. Number 1, prayer. I think this is not just a sort of global prayer thing, but I do think that's important. We were involved in something called Unite 714 around 2 Chronicles 7:14, and I spoke about that last Sunday in our online services. But it's not. There's obviously a sense of coming together to pray for so many things, but also individually to hear from God each day. And Lord, what are you saying? What do you want out of this? I think the second thing I've learned is that we need to be proactive. This is not a time for church leaders to go on holiday. With this, we have to respond, and we have to respond in a very proactive way. We see ourselves like a startup now, because everything that existed in the past no longer exists. Our congregation, we don't turn up on Sunday morning and see however many we had, like 4,000 people there on Sunday. We had 8,500 congregation, 4,500 on Sunday. I just think, okay, that's gone. Now we're a startup. So how are we going to reach people? And in particular, how are you going to reach people outside of the church? This is an amazing opportunity to reach people outside of the church. So be proactive. Third thing is be positive, not optimistic. I think there's a great danger. The people who survived the prison of war camps in Japan were not the optimists who said it's all going to be over by Christmas. They were the realists. This is not going to be all over in 3 weeks. We're in this for a long haul. I think if you think that people like Pips, who's vulnerable, they're not really going to be allowed out fully until there's a vaccine. Well, there's not going to be a vaccine in 2 months, or probably more like a year, at least a year. So this is a long haul thing. We've got to be realistic, and we've got to prepare for that. So that was be positive, be proactive, be prayerful, and then I think it's important to plan as well, to think ahead, and we've looked at this as being in 4 phases. That there's a period of crisis, there's a period of grief, there's a period of new normal, and then there's exit. And so I think the crisis is still here, the grief is still here, but we're now moving into the new normal. And in a sense, we're moving, quite a lot of people are moving from fear to despair. And so we're in a new sort of season in that sense. Now we're moving into a new season. So what we felt was, in the time of crisis, we needed to really focus. And so we focused on 5 things. Number 1, Sunday online. So that's my 5th P is pivot. You've got to pivot really fast. And so we pivoted very quickly to Sunday online. And we see our Sunday services. I know this is not true for all churches, but for us, we see Sunday online as an opportunity to reach people outside of the church.